the fact that we're able to do a show with 4 women and be somewhat well received, I think really speaks to the fact that our fan base really supports diversity and supports women in football. Hayden Hurst, the tight end. First of all, I like him because he's a ginger. Second of all, I like him because it's all about mental health. That's what every team needs, is a ginger and somebody who's all about mental health.
I loved everything Urban Meyer. It made me feel better about everything. I'm his biggest fangirl right now. I would give him a lap dance if I could.
Gives a new meaning to the term steak hooker, I guess.
The what?
Gives a new meaning to the term steak hooker. You never heard of a steak hooker?
Who they say gon' beat the Bengals? Who they say gon' beat the Bengals? Nobody!
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Tigress Talk. We are the first and only Bengal show created by women. I am Jess, aka Hubei, and I am joined by Bengals Whitney and Jerry holding it down in Florida down there, and Kayla will be joining us momentarily. She was here, and then something happened. She left, but I'm sure she'll be right back. Technical difficulties, the joys of a live show. So, Hoo day, everybody. Hope everybody's doing well. That loss was a little heartbreaking, but you know, we're here. You guys hanging in there?
Yeah.
Jerry, I'm glad to see you back alive after Hurricane Ian and working all those long shifts and everything else. So
yeah, I'm still slightly a zombie, but I'm trying.
I hear ya. Thank you so much to everybody watching live. Thanks to everybody in the chat. We've got Greg. Oh, there's Kayla. She's back. Hey, Kayla.
Hi, sorry.
No, that's okay. It's like very stressful. We were trying to, Kyle Caskey was doing something earlier, and we were trying to hang on to the last minute there, and it just, it was going over a little bit. So anyway, but yeah, so what was I saying? Oh, thanks to everybody who's watching. We got Greg Luther here. He says, Hoo day, ladies. Of course, we got Mama Pam. Hoo day, Mama Pam. Hoo day, Mary. Thanks for being here. Greg says, tough loss. Keep moving forward. Exactly. No place to go but forward, right? Crypt Keeper says, hello, ladies of the Hoo day. Hello, Crypt Keeper. Thank you for being here. Bridget's here. Hey, Bridget. She says, hey, friends. Hoo day. Hoo day, Bridget. And Greg Luther said, Hurst played great. Yes, I can't wait to get into all that because that was exciting. And, of course, my unpaid intern Bengals captain says, Hoo day. Oh, game recap. Do we have to?
A little. Yeah.
I will say that I was really excited about Joe Mixon and the run game getting going. I feel like that was definitely a positive takeaway from a day where there wasn't a lot of positive takeaways. So I was really excited to see that. I really am excited for that. And obviously Hayden Hurst being awesome in that effort. Kelsey's here. She says, hey, ladies. Hey, Kelsey. Thanks for being here. Alex says, long-time listener, first-time caller. Hello, Alex. Thank you. Settle me down about the play calling. I'll hang up and listen. Well, thanks for listening, Alex. Call anytime. But, yeah, I don't know. It was a slow start on offense. Things just, I feel like, aren't quite there on offense. But defense, again, was really good. Obviously, we're missing DJ Reader. The run defense was a little tougher this week. I felt like that one guy, who's that one guy they had that was so slippery? Lafayette or something? Was that
no, oh,
I forget
God.
his name.
I feel like I've blacked out that game a little bit.
Me too, a little bit. And I mean, obviously their tight end was really good as well. But so it was a hard day. It was a hard fought game. We should have won in the end. We couldn't quite come up with the win, but I am really encouraged. There are some encouraging takeaways, I think, from this game. And I think the biggest encouraging takeaway for me, like I said earlier, is that the run game seems to be getting somewhere. And, you know, Hayden Hurst, I thought, had another great game with the effort and everything else. And I really feel like things are starting to gel a little bit better with the offensive line. They're still having big moments where they're just missing things and just things aren't quite there. But overall, I am encouraged by the overall direction. I wish things were, you know, and we're all the same. We want immediate results. I want to see it right now. I want to win the Super Bowl tomorrow. But it's going to be, I think it's going to be a little bit harder than that. So,
yeah.
Bridget said, defense continues to be certified rock stars. Absolutely.
Yeah.
They are. Greg says they should have ran the ball at least twice at the 2-yard line. Yep. Easy for us to say, I guess. But Haas says, "Hoo day, everyone. Hoo day, Haas." But I don't know. What did you guys think of the game? I'm with you, Whitney. I think I blacked out most of it. And I'm eating ice cream.
Yeah. I mean, it was tough. I'm not going to lie. And very frustrating. It was a lot of frustrating moments. There were bright spots. So that's what, after like the hangover of the loss past, that's what I've been trying to focus on, because that's stuff you can build on. But yeah, I mean, I understand and I echo the frustration a lot of people felt about some of the game planning. I felt like we had 10 days to plan for that game, and I was not impressed with the plan that we rolled out. I will be perfectly honest, but I also don't know everything about the ins and outs. I don't know if he was trying to protect some soft spots on the offensive line or just really working on getting Joe Mixon involved and that overshadowed thing. I don't know. I don't know what all went into it. I know just when you're sitting an armchair quarterbacking and armchair coaching, it's frustrating, and it was frustrating what we saw. And I should have won again. I love that we only lose our games by a couple points every time, because I'd rather that than get blown out. But at the same time, it is very frustrating. But we had bright spots, and I was so happy for Hurst to have his moment in Baltimore, for sure.
And Samaje looked amazing.
Yeah,
he really does.
Man, Joe, like the run game as a whole looked great. And I mean, we were all worried about. We were like, oh, the biggest thing to do is contain Lamar Jackson. And for the most part, I mean, I think that's why it's so frustrating is the things that we were super stressed about, the run game and Lamar Jackson, were fine. It was just the other stuff.
Yeah. Lamar didn't look great at all.
He looked there. I was like, I think, Whitney, were you texting me saying like the long Jamar trying to throw the long passes is your favorite part about the game or something? Because there were like 2 big ones that he just totally missed.
It was so good. I'm like, that's your MVP? That's your MVP. Oh, no. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I think a lot of the frustration stems from, we know what this offense is capable of. And there's a lot more expectations this year than we had last year. I think last year we were just really excited that Joe was even able to play, to be honest. And then they gave us that great season. So I think that's where a lot of the frustration is stemming from. Is just, we know what we're capable of and we'll get there. It's just, we've got to tweak some things, and it just kind of sucks because it feels like we keep losing almost the same way sometimes. And it's like, if we could just fix that, we'd get to where we're going.
Yeah.
Kelsey was there, and I love this. She says, "I'll tell you one thing. The fans in the stands were not happy with Hurst waving to them after the TD, and I was loving every bit. LOL." I tweeted about this, and there were some Ravens fans coming for me. They were like, I think one of them said, "Wave goodbye, Hayden," and I said, "It's not goodbye. It's see you later." Because I really think that when we play this team again, we're gonna win. I mean, it's just gonna take a little bit of time. So Christine says, "Hi Jerry, missed you. Kayla's hat is dope. Jess and Whitney's laughs make me happy. My favorite ladies, keep smiling. Things will get better this season." Thank you, Christine. Thank you. We love your energy. I appreciate you. Sorry, I'm missing some of these. Greg says, "Pay Von Bell." Yeah, Von Bell. Oh my gosh. Could you be any happier with how anybody has played than Von Bell? I mean,
Love him.
give him the key to the city, I think. Eric says, "Hoo day, everyone. The worst part was waiting all day long for the game to start, and our patience wasn't rewarded." Oh, amen to that. That was a brutal day and a brutal day after. So,
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
but
I think we were all just cranky and tired by the end of that game.
yeah, I definitely was. But all right. Well, that was I don't really have much else to say about the game. Do you guys? I think we're ready to get into our bombshell breakdown. What do you guys think?
Let's
I'm
go
ready
for
to
it.
move on. Yeah.
Moving on.
Hey y'all, this is Kayla Caskey back with this week's edition of Bombshell Breakdown. I put a little sparkle on for y'all this week because after being 0-2 in division, we all could use a little sparkle in our lives. Okay, today we're going to look at a couple of plays on how Baltimore took away the long pass from the Bengals. I know Burrow wasn't too happy about it after the game, but there's also a lot of opportunity left out there on the field. So let's take a look at today's film.
Well, it just depends on what the defense is giving us. If teams are going to play us like that, then that's what we have to do. There's just nothing down the field if teams are going to play us like they just did today.
Okay, y'all, so let's look at this play here. The Bengals are on the Baltimore's about 20-yard line, and they're trying to get a touchdown. Baltimore is playing a quarter half defense. And what that means is I just half the field here, but we're going to make this side a quarter. So this guy has this quarter, this guy has this quarter, and this guy has this half over here. So, and then our offense is going to run an intermediate route here, and he is going to be running a basic kind of following him. And this little guy is going to go and just sit. And the running back is going to go sit. And Chase is going to be pretty much taken out of the picture because they're kind of manning him up over there. Let's watch it and see. Okay, so Chase is manned up over here. This guy could come help cover him. And this guy right here is going to be open for the most part. Also, this guy's open. So they're taking away the deeper passes. They're not going to allow a touchdown on this play. But we have these intermediate passes that are available to us. So again, he catches the ball here. He was open as well for a brief period. So we'll go look at this end zone play here. And I'll show you again the same play just from a different view here. We'll watch how Boyd is actually open. I'll show you all the window here. Okay, so this is Boyd kind of coming in on the screen there. So there's this window where he is open right here that Burrow kind of missed it on this play. Okay, y'all, so here we go again. The Bengals are on the Baltimore 20-yard line, and we're going to be running somewhat a similar play to what we just ran where Boyd was open in that window, but now Hurst right here. He is a former Raven. He is going to be catching the ball in that window. Now, Baltimore is playing that quarters defense. Show you. Here we go. This guy has got this part. This guy here has got this part. This guy has got this part. And this little guy, he's going to pop over here and get this part. They're not little guys. They're actually big NFL players. And then these three guys here are big NFL players, or the intermediary guys trying to take away the intermediate pass. We have to get it over their head in order for it to work. So we're going to be running some longer routes in here, and they're going to take away Chase and this Chase right here, and this guy is just going to run a little in route. So let's watch it go, and we'll see the window open up underneath here. So we're watching him. He gets the ball. And the good thing about the intermediate pass is you don't have to stop when you catch the ball. You can keep running. So here we go from the end zone view again. You could just kind of see from a different perspective here there how open he was. But he had to get it over the defender's head in order for the ball to be caught. So that's the key going forward. Get it over the defender's head, catch the ball, and run. Okay, y'all, well, I hope you saw a little bit today about how there's still 10, 15-yard passes out there. I mean, the Bengals really only need to get 4 yards every time they touch the ball, and you'll win the game, right? Let's get that running game going this week, too. Okay, y'all, this is Kayla Caskey with this week's edition of Bombshell Breakdown.
I love her so much. You know what's so funny is I love it when she calls them little guys.
Me too. I was going to say that.
She corrected herself this time. Was like, they're not little guys. They're big guys.
I love it.
Oh my gosh. She's adorable. You know, and I'm really glad that she brought that up. Eric said someone needs to recreate that flying Hurst touchdown and put it on campus. Oh my God, I know. That was like my favorite moment of the game. I think that there's the effort,
hands down.
the sheer effort to get that ball over the goal line was amazing. But no, I'm glad that Kayla said that because that quote from Joe Burrow was low-key disturbing to me. Like, well, if they're going to do that, there's nothing we can do. And now I was like, come on, Joe. Like, yes, there is. Like, yeah, come on, buddy. Like, we can do it. And so, yeah, I think it's just going to take time. And these guys, you know, I'm sure it's frustrating to lose a game like that, but, you know, they'll get it together. So, anyway, that was great. So, let's get into some viewer questions here. All right. Thank you guys so much for submitting questions via Twitter. If you have any other questions, feel free to leave them in the comments. Our first question comes from Christian. He's always got a serious question and a fun question for us. So thank you, Christian. We appreciate your interaction on Twitter. He says, serious question. Huber had a good first 4 weeks, but was really shaky on Sunday, save for holding snaps. Still did well there. Would you still roll with him or get Chrisman in?
I don't want to mess with any more chemistry on the team. I think things need to gel and settle, so I wouldn't, but I'm not a coach and I don't. That's my opinion.
Yeah.
Those field goals are too important. The point afters are too important. Our defense is playing really great, so even if we're giving up a little bit in field position every once in a while, even though that's not ideal, our defense seems to be able to handle it. I don't think that's our main problem, but we've already lost a game based on missed field goals and a missed point after. So no, I wouldn't touch it right now.
That's a really good point, Whitney. Yeah, I totally agree.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. That was kind of part of the game that I was a little frustrated with this past Sunday. But I do agree that if you completely change everything, that's just going to throw another wrench of, chaos into everything. And we've had enough of that. So hopefully we can just work on what he needs to work on and move on and just get better.
Yeah. Meg's here. She says, hi, everybody. Hi, Meg. Let's all sign I love you to Meg because she's deaf, so she can't really watch this until... Oh, I'm going to mute because my Chinese food is here. They're still barking. Jesus, forgive me for my bad mouth on Twitter all day. I didn't notice that. I really didn't.
I wasn't on Twitter today, so I can't yell at her.
Yeah, I've been low-key avoiding Twitter at the moment.
Yeah.
I need usually a couple days off of Twitter after any game, win or lose, honestly, just because it's like so much. And then after a loss, though, especially like that, oh, Lord, I need a longer break than a day or two.
Yeah,
the whole
especially
week.
The division game, it hurts worse. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And everybody else in the division lost again for the second week in a row. It was such a gift. It was such a gift right there for the taking. So, Twitter was not the place to be the last couple of days, I don't think.
I couldn't even watch Monday Night Football last night. I just needed a break.
Yeah.
I watched wrestling.
There you go.
I needed a laugh.
That's probably good, Jerry. Yeah, sorry, I'm trying to get caught up with comments. My dog's just freaked out for no apparent reason, but yeah, Haas is saying the line looks better. I agree. But yeah, it was a rough couple days on Twitter, but
a little bit
too.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think to finish up Christian's question, yeah, I don't think Huber needs replaced in the middle of the season. I think we roll with him this year and then kind of see how the offseason goes for everybody. But all right, and then a fun question from Christian is another jersey question. What is the oldest Bengal jersey you own? Do you guys have any old ones? I do not.
Yeah, I don't have any really old ones. I mean, I think my oldest is probably like Chad Johnson. Like it's not even.
Yeah. I don't have an old one at all. Like I have I got one maybe like 5-6 years ago that has my name on it. Not a player's, but that's the one I've had the longest, but I don't have an old one.
Yeah, I have a Chad Johnson from like the first game I ever went to, which was like 2005. So I still have it.
That's good.
That's awesome. Yeah. Yeah. Sorry about Chinese food. It's very important. Wow, Bridget has a Jeff Blake jersey. That's pretty awesome. And so does Crypt.
That is nice.
That's great. Nope. I have really never really been into jerseys. I do have some, but they're not old. They're like AJ Green, and I had an Andy Dalton one once. I think I gave that to somebody. And then I think I have a Giovanni Bernard one. So those are not very old. Ooh, Chase Ingle says, I've got a Boomer jersey hanging in the closet. That's pretty awesome.
That's
Chase.
a cool one.
That's
Yeah.
really
That is a very
awesome.
cool one.
Yeah, that's
Like
great.
it.
I love that. I have a lot of vintage things. I don't know what the oldest vintage thing I have is, but no jerseys. Jerry, you got something vintage on? Is that new?
I do.
Is that new or is that old?
I wore this to the Raiders playoff game.
Mm.
But I think that's the only time I've worn
great.
it. And I want to say this was from like the 80s. It's got like a built-in turtleneck.
I love it.
It's cute.
I love
Thank
it so
you.
much. All right. Well, thank you, Christian, for your questions. Let's get into some conspiracy theories. It's a good week, I think, for conspiracy theory. Whitney, where's your hat?
Cue the intro.
You had that
Just
whole
kidding.
X-Files theme to put your hat on.
I was thinking about my conspiracy theory. Sorry.
Mine's getting a little crumpled, y'all. Mine's getting a little baked potato vibes here. I might need to.
I think that adds to the charm.
More aluminum.
It's very
Oh, it
cute.
does. It's vintage now.
All right. Well, Eric Walschlager coming in clutch again with another conspiracy theory. He says, after hearing Zach's press conference, I've got, another conspiracy theory. Zach already handed over most of the play calling and is being a good leader by taking the blame by saying it's a team effort. I like that one, Eric.
I like it too. He's falling on the sword.
Yes.
Guys. Very valiant. I'm down with it. In reality, I do think Callahan's way more involved in the game planning than what people think.
I think he already is too. And I just don't, I think that this is just like one of those hot button phrases right now that people are on about. And I just don't, I don't really get it, to be honest with you, but that's really funny. Pam says I look like a big Hershey kiss. I
You
like
are
that better
giving
than
me
big
Hershey
potato. That's so much better. I love it. Oh, Criff's got a conspiracy theory. Chris Collinsworth is a cruise. Does that mean curse? How many times have the Bengals won when Chris is calling the game? That was hard. That was really, I was really struggling with that. Sorry about that, Criff. That's, I don't like that one at all.
Let's call him a jinx, not a curse. But I'm down with it.
Because I really love Chris Collinsworth. I mean, I know sometimes you want to kind of punch him in the face when he's calling the games, but like Chris Collinsworth, the former Bengal player, Chris Collinsworth, the human person, is like a completely different person than the one that calls the games on TV. Like he's such a nice person in real life. Like he's such a good guy, and he really loves the Bengals. And my conspiracy is that he loves them so much that he has to like overdo it when he's calling the games, because he just is afraid of how much he loves the Bengals, and he's afraid that his love is going to show on TV or something, and then he's going to get fired. But
I think that's a conspiracy theory.
yes, that's
a bit of a
definitely my
conspiracy
conspiracy theory.
Love it.
Because I met him, and I honestly, I did not like him. When I first started watching Bengals games, when he was calling the games, I was like, who is this guy? I do not like him, because I never watched football when he played for the Bengals. Like, I obviously grew up around it, but I never really watched football where I knew who the players were while he was playing for them. So when I first heard him, I was like, the F is this guy? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I did not like him at all. And then I go to these events where he's telling these stories about Pat McAnally being naked and singing songs, and I'm just like, and he's just the most hilarious guy ever, and he really truly loves the Bengals. So I will give Chris Collinsworth a pass because I've seen
like
the real
Chris.
him.
I like him.
I do too, and
I've never trash talked Chris. I don't think ever, and I don't notice it because I just think he's unbiased. I think he's a very, very good professional at what he does, and I think that just anytime that means that he talks up another team and talks us down, it gets under Bengals fans' skin. But I don't see him as inherently awful to us. I'm probably going to get shit on Twitter for saying that, but whatever.
I don't care. I say it all the time, and I stand by it. I've told that same story. I don't know how many times to I don't know how many people, and I stand by it. Chris Engel said, "I miss Chris and Al Michaels. I know I missed the slide. I do. That slide was iconic.
I do like the slide, but somebody should look up that stat. He could be a little bit of a jinx. We can love him, but he could still be a jinx. Somebody could be you could be onto something."
All right, I'm gonna keep my hat on while I look that up, but.
I think the one time that I really liked him was last year when it was the Chargers versus the Raiders. And if they tied, it would have knocked the Steelers out.
Yeah.
And he was laughing the entire time about it and just kept saying, like, this is going to be great, basically. It was like making fun of the Steelers fans. So that I really enjoyed. He was entertaining me that night, but usually his voice is not my favorite.
Agree, Jerry.
Yeah. We can be divided on this. That's okay. We don't have to agree on everything. But yeah, you know what's funny, Jerry? I was actually out of my mind sick with COVID during that game, so I was trying so hard to stay awake from it, and I just couldn't stay awake from it. But now I want to go back and watch it.
For the commentary.
It was a fun game to watch.
Yeah. Okay, let's see. Were there some conspiracy theories in here? I think Matt Mixon is still tipping the plays. I think that's not helping. I don't know if that's a conspiracy theory, Matt, or just a comment.
Yeah, we all saw that video, I think. He's not being a good poker player right now. Play better poker, Joe.
Yeah.
For sure.
Eric said Whitney Collinsworth was born and raised here on the Space Coast. He
was?
himself. Not erased. Raced. Yes, that's what he said. I don't know. Not verified.
I didn't know that.
That's what Eric says. Yeah. Matt says, I'm hoping it's a conspiracy.
Yeah.
Time will tell.
I have a conspiracy theory.
What do you guys got? Give it to me.
So here's what I think is going to happen. And this should give Bengals fans a little bit of extra hope. I think what's going to happen is Joe and Jamar are going to go down. They're going to get into the state of Louisiana. They're going to start getting revived by all of this LSU love. They're going to have glimpses and remember that epic championship game. And I think they're just going to be reinvigorated. And this is going to be the start of a renaissance for the Bengals. And our offense is just going to go nuts from this game in New Orleans on. That's what I think.
Love it.
That's
I do not believe that that's a conspiracy.
ELX.
I think that is fact. And I love your shirt. That's fantastic. I love it.
Yeah.
All right. You girls got any conspiracy theories?
Are we gonna blame the loss on the full moon? Because we had.
Oh, that's a good one. That is a good one. I blamed a lot of things this weekend on the full moon.
Add it to the pile.
A lot of things.
And Mercury's still in retrograde, so there we go.
Mercury's still in the microwave. We cannot let this go. The cosmos is against us right now, but that's okay. We'll get back. We'll get back in the cosmos' good graces. Are we supposed to sacrifice something? How does this work? I don't know.
Probably. Burn some sage at least.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I'm getting behind on the chat again. Eric said, someone posted that the Bengals have lost 11 straight Sunday night football games, I believe. How many years has he been calling them, plus the Super Bowl? Yeah. And then he said his dad was principal of high school here in
Titusville. No way.
Titusville? Oh, okay. Very cool.
Huh.
That's awesome.
Thanks,
right.
Eric. I didn't know that.
Any other conspiracy theories?
That's it. I think the full moon is correct, though. I feel a lot better about I actually feel better about the game now.
Me too. Totally. That was exactly it.
That
All
was
right,
it.
let's talk. We Meet to Talk is sponsored by Birmingham Meadery. They are the only mead company I know of that are Bengals fans, and they had an awesome mead for the Bengals last year, the King of the North mead, and I think that it is coming back next year. So look out for that. Code Tigress gets you 15% off 2 or more bottles of mead, so make sure you guys check them out. What do you guys need to talk about today?
I need to talk about why is Andy Dalton obsessed with us. He is obsessed with us. He's like that ex that, like, you thought you parted amicably, but, like, he keeps blowing up your phone every once in a while, like, WYD, what you doing? Like,
You up?
come on.
No, oh my gosh, I just
You up?
remembered you saying that. Just reminded me that I forgot another conspiracy theory that you guys had talked about earlier in the week, and it totally slipped my mind because it wasn't on my very short list of things. And it was that Andy Dalton is putting himself in positions to play the Bengals every year because we didn't appreciate him when he was here.
Yeah. Is he like sabotaging the first string quarterbacks of all these teams that he's playing on so that he happens to be the guy for the Bengals week? Like, is he putting some milk and magnesia in people's coffee cups, or like, what's he doing?
I think he's far too Christian to do anything like that, but I do think that, like, we did not quite appreciate Andy Dalton when he was here. I feel like he was pretty solid, and now he's going and he's doing decent things, at other teams. Even being the backup quarterback, I feel like he's played really well. So, it is what it is. So.
I don't know. I think there's some Pepto-Bismol, like, extreme quantities going into some players' Gatorade.
Strictly bowel related.
I think it's bowel related.
Oh.
Yes.
Chase said, we need to talk about who day is greater than who dat. Yes, and who day was first. So we can just end that right there.
That's going to be so
that's
obnoxious
the perfect
next
conspiracy
weekend.
theory.
Yeah.
What'd you say, Whit?
That's going to be really obnoxious this coming weekend, the who day versus who dat chant.
Yeah.
Do you think the fans? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was just going to ask how excited you are to go this weekend.
Very.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm so excited. There is a comment from Meg, so we'll talk about this now. Yeah. Are all of you going to NOLA? I know Jess and Whitney is. Yes. Me and Whitney are going. You girls are not, correct?
Nope.
Nope.
I can't travel past 2 hours away right now.
Oh, I forgot. You're growing a human. It's a lot of work. Sarah Elise is going to be there as well. There's a lot of really great fans going, so I'm very excited. What?
Bridget in the chat.
Oh, that's right. Bridget's going. I totally forgot Bridget was going. Ava's going. We got a lot of great gals going. So I'm sorry that you can't be there with us, Meg. We will be thinking about you, and we'll see you at the next one. So.
Do you guys think because of the LSU connection that the Saints fans are going to be a little kinder? Like it might be a little better environment than it might have been prior?
Possibly, but you know what? Honestly, I've never had a problem with any Saints fans. They've been to Cincinnati a few times, at least once that I can remember of. So I've never had a bad interaction with Saints fans, so I hope that they're nice. I think a lot of people that live in that area, too, that weren't, like, super into the Saints have kind of latched onto the Bengals as well. So I'm hoping that there'll be, like, a lot of Bengals fans there. People who weren't necessarily Saints fans who live in the area who are LSU fans. Because, I feel like there are lots of college fans around the area who don't necessarily love, NFL teams. Mm-hmm. So I feel like that's definitely a possibility. So I'm really excited about that, so...
Yeah, we absorbed some of the state just from the LSU connection, and so that it can't hurt. It can't hurt. I think it'll be fun.
This is a juicy one. Eric says, "What about the players chanting who they say gonna beat them Bengals instead of who they think gonna beat them Bengals? Is there a grammar policeman on the team?" I don't know, and I don't necessarily know that it's a grammar thing, but I feel like. I don't know. I have no idea where that came from, to be honest with you, and I would love to find out, but I have no clue.
I've changed how I do it. If that's how the players are doing it in the locker room, I just assume I'm wrong, and I'm just doing it that way now.
Yeah, because I
it
think
once.
that's how Joe did it after Thursday night.
It is.
And I was like, okay, that's what it is for now on, guys.
It's
Yep.
how they've always said it in the locker room too. And I didn't really pick up on it until Kat pointed it out to me and was like, they're saying say. And I thought it was just a transcript error because you know how they transcribe everything, which is great for our deaf fans like Meg. But I thought it was just like a transcription error because, you know, they're not always perfect. But no, they definitely say. And again, I don't know where it came from, but whatever. We'll all say it. I don't care.
I'm just adopting it.
Yeah. Haas says, it's a player thing. Okay, Haas, I'll buy it. Bridget said, I'm going to be the fun drunk. Oh, yay, Bridget. I probably won't be drunk at all. I'm still not feeling 100%, but
Aww.
I think we need to talk about riding the ship on this offense. I think Joe Goodberry had a great tweet today. I don't know if you guys saw it. Cap retweeted it. I actually typed all this out before Cap interacted with Joe Goodberry about this tweet. But he said, people won't want to hear this, but what the Bengals are shifting to on offense is the correct path. It just took 2 weeks to start down that path, and it has been slowly getting better each week after. You know, I think people are ready to throw the whole thing away, and I think that everyone just needs to have a little bit of patience. And then his thread went on to say that like he thought it would start faster than this, but maybe Joe Burrow's surgery and everything else kind of screwed up the timetable on it. But I do think that, you know, like Kayla said with the bombshell breakdown, there's going to be ways to get the ball down the field. We just have to adjust to them, and everybody's playing us differently this year. Whitney, you totally called that before the season even started. Whitney was saying that teams are going to play us differently this year. They're going to play us harder this year. They're going to key in on our weaknesses. They were singling Jamar all last year. Even in the Super Bowl, they were singling Jamar. So it's, you know, they're playing us differently now. We can't fall to the same things that we were doing before. That's okay. We can make new things happen. They can write new plays, you know, they can do all these things, and I think they're doing them. It's just taking a while to see that execution be 100% perfect, and you know, all that.
Well,
so that's what I wanted to talk about.
Something we haven't really talked about too is how much we really missed T out there on Sunday.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we missed him that first game too. Like, he's an integral part of that offense, and when he's not there, it definitely shows.
100%.
Yeah, that's a great point. And I find it funny that like during training camp part of the season, and this has been the last like couple seasons, we all get very excited and brag about like how deep our wide receiver room is, because like these guys in training camp do these splashy plays and like they're showing out a little bit. But when push comes to shove, T's on a different level, and we all need to admit that. And I think we were forced to admit that this Sunday. It's just a whole different ball game, literally, without him. So
100%. Yeah, that's a good point, and I forgot to write that down. But yeah, that was very evident. I felt like on Sunday, his presence was really hurtful, I think, to this offense. So
yeah, you know, I just want to put out there too, like to piggyback off what you were saying, Jess. Like, we all talked about this last year. All four of us talked about last year how we were living the dream last season because there was almost no expectation going into that season. So everything was like just gravy, and everything was just icing on the cake, and just these beautiful surprises and like all of that. And we said it, cherish that, because you don't get that type of season again. Because once this bar has been raised, then you go into the season with a really high expectation. And anytime it's not met, it has a higher level of disappointment, a lot more backlash online and within the fans community and stuff. So we really got to enjoy that and savor that last year. I just want to calm everybody down just a little bit this season, that we are on par with where we were last year when we went to the Super Bowl in terms of like our record and our performance and things. We have a completely new O-line to sort out, and teams are playing us different. So it may take us the same amount of time it took last year for us to really hit our stride on offense. But the building blocks are there, and there is flashes of what we can be and that kind of thing. But it's just that our expectation levels have changed. And so the team hasn't changed. It's us. So
you know, in a lot of ways,
maybe to put it in perspective.
I totally agree with you, Whitney. I think a lot of ways we got real spoiled last year with how well we were. We won a lot of close games last year, and so far this year we've lost a few close games. So I think we're gonna get on that winning side again of the close games. It's like I think Joe Mixon said, it's hard to win in the NFL. It really is. We say it every week. So
Yeah.
But Cripps said yes. T Higgins is a must for us. Absolutely. Greg Luther says, I want to see all the LSU Bengals dominate, but mainly a win. I think we all want to see a win, Greg. But, and then Meg said, Hendrickson strip sack too. Did he get another strip sack on Sunday? I feel like I blocked that out. Did that happen on Sunday?
Didn't he wasn't there a penalty or something
okay.
No.
Yeah.
What was it?
Let's see.
Did
Oh,
they
I'm
rule him
sorry.
down,
I read these in
maybe?
the wrong order. That's what she wants to say. See, she
gotcha.
said, "I want to see another pick by Bell in this game. He's already had one the last game and 2 last week, but it's literally perfect if he doesn't know it." Yes, absolutely, Meg. 100% agree with you there. And then she said Anna Henderson strip sack too. So that was my bad for reading those out of order.
But I do think
Meg,
there was a play on Sunday, wasn't there, where Hendrickson got there and forced the ball. Am I fever dreaming? I might be fever dreaming in my grief, but
I feel
it
like
didn't
we
count.
came up with the ball, but they said that he was down.
Yeah,
Is that
something
what it
like
was? I don't.
Yeah, that's what I
I
thought
think
she
I
was
blocked it all
referring to
out
first.
already.
But I would like
Seems
to see.
so long ago.
I would like to see that.
Greg said, difference between the Bengals and the Rams, when the Rams lose, they get destroyed. We're not ready for that conversation yet, but I have a tweet in drafts that I'm going to save for the next time the Bengals win and the Rams look really bad, and you guys probably know what it is. But Eric says, I think Burrow is very cued into taking what the defense give him. I feel we're very close to him opening it up and saying, F it, I don't care what the defense in Joe's shiesty, and I'm going to do what I want. Yeah, that'd be great. AD, hi AD. He says, who's coming to NOLA? Me and Whitney will be there, and Bridget and Ava and all kinds of people I can't think of right now, but oh yeah, I have to bring Cap too.
He's your plus one. He's
my plus one. He is my plus one. All right. Anybody else have anything they need to talk about right now?
I have one. So we need to talk about, and it's not just for us, but the officiating this year. Every year we talk about it. Every year it just seems to get worse. And it is drastically changing the course of games. And it is just what's roughing the passer for one is not for the other. That's not even roughing the passer. It's just, they need to get it together.
There's no
and we got away with some on Sunday, but so did the Ravens. So it's not just particularly towards us, but just every week.
General.
Yeah, every week when I've watched the Bucks, I swear they just throw these just flagrant flags that just keep the drive going for Tom Brady. And I'm just like, if you're going to, at least try not to make it as obvious, because they've all just been ghost calls. I don't understand it. It's I understand it in the back of my head. I'm like, I know what you're doing, but
yeah,
can't prove it.
Cincy James says, "Hooday," and Jerry nailed it. The officiating is horrible. Consistency sucks. 100%. James, I know Jerry didn't watch that game last night, but did you guys watch the game, or did you at least hear about the officiating? I mean,
I was screaming at the TV, and I have no skin in this game at all. It was that bad. I've never seen anything like it. It's awful.
Bridget says, who else gets to be this bad at their job with no consequences? Bridget, I swear I have been saying that exact thing for so many years. If I were that bad at my job, people would be dead. There would be a line of dead bodies in my wake if I was allowed to be that bad at my job. Seriously. I mean, I know that they're just
First of all, they should be fined. They should be fined. If there's an investigation and it was obvious that it was that bad of a call, I feel like refs should be subject to fines. I swear I do, because you're literally hurting games and there's no accountability for it. And then also, I think it's bullshit, sorry, that coaches can't talk about refs.
Yeah.
When did you get that?
Give me a warning next time. No, I'm kidding.
Oh my God.
I forgot I had a beeper button.
Get ready.
I got lots of buttons over here. I don't know what they all do, but I know what that one does.
Try
Because
again.
it's got a like all the @ sign, exclamation point, number sign. So I know that one's the bad word button. No,
Well, I think it's bull.
I wasn't ready.
Oh my God. That the refs, that like the coaches can't even talk about the refs. They can't even call them out in pressers because they get fined if they do that.
That part is so weird to me.
Like, yeah, you can't even talk about it.
I'm sorry. I thought this was America.
I know. No free speech.
There needs to be people in New York that are watching these games, and they can easily get people watching all of the games at one time to like overcall some of these horrible calls. Like I said, when it's changing the course of the game, that is a significant problem.
Yeah.
Christine found the solution. We need more female refs. I totally agree, Christine.
We see everything.
We do see everything.
Right. So true. So true. But no, I really feel like that's a really good point, Whitney, because if these refs were being fined, I bet they would really shape up in a hurry. Don't you think?
Yeah.
Because these are guys that have like full-time jobs where they make a lot of money and they do this on the side for fun, and they make a lot of money doing this on the side for fun. So I really feel like we need to hit them in their pocketbook. That's the only thing that's going to get anything to change. And it's absolute crap that they cannot say anything bad about the calls or bad about the refs. Like, everybody should be held accountable for their actions. Players, coaches, referees, everybody needs to be to stand up at the end of the day and say, this is what I did, and this is why, and I was right or I was wrong or whatever. And with all the technology they have now, give me a break. I mean, you hear it all the time when you watch the games on TV. Oh, the guys in New York do this. The booth and whatever. They've got all these things available to them. And you were telling me that it comes down to what this like 85-year-old man standing there is seeing. I felt like the guy refereeing last night, I felt like he was crying at one point. I was like, is this guy crying right now? Like, what is happening?
Like, even, is it Gene Sarator tweeted that he doesn't know what the hell that roughing the passer call was. Like, he even came out, like, that was literally how bad it was. And in those moments, I feel like there should be a red button that a coach can push on the sideline to certain plays. It's like, I like a challenge flag, but different. Like call, like get on the bat phone and call like.
It should be a big red. It should be a big red button that they can hit, and then it like lights up the sky with like something, and they have to. Like, I don't know.
Yes.
I don't know where this is going, but
or a phone,
seriously,
we need to phone a friend or something. Like phone a ref in New York or something. I don't know, a hotline, something. But
I agree. Jesus. And yes, this is how I know this, because Cap has spoken to refs at length. 2 lawyers, one actually made jokes about calls in the Bengals 49 games and let me know he was a fan of a different team. Well, Cap, I hope you hung up on him, and I hope you canceled his loan, because that's crap. And he said they don't need the money. It's not their primary focus. I mean,
then good. Take their money. Fine them.
Like, people know your name. Like, when you want to do a good job, like, have a little pride in your work, for Christ's sakes. I mean, I really feel like it doesn't have to be the job. You know, it doesn't have to be your primary focus. It doesn't have to be your primary job. But you should take pride in what you're doing. I don't know.
Are you guys as open to public flogging and bringing that back as we used to? Because even if we don't fine them, like, we could publicly flog them, like, 1 lash for every bad call.
Drawn quarter for blown games, you know.
Oh yeah.
Tar and feather. We're not killing anybody. Tar and feather.
I'm not leaving anything out. I'm putting it all on the table.
Okay, we'll talk about it. How do we get on that rules committee?
Meg says they should be fining and suspending these refs for making horrendous calls.
Suspension 100%.
Is great.
Yeah.
100%, Meg. Totally agree. That's ridiculous.
Wasn't there an officiating crew last year that got suspended for the rest of the year? want to say in the playoffs or something, because their calls are just so
Now
bad.
that I think about it, I forgot about that.
And I think that might have been, and I could just completely be making this up, but I think,
No, I think you're
that
right.
crew might have been one of the crews that had one of the horrible roughing the passer calls.
Yeah. Cab thinks we should beat them with Skyline Conies, and Eric thinks we should force them to watch the Broncos Colts game over and over again.
I don't know. I think the
punishment, actually.
what is it? The Bears and Commanders game on Thursday might
Oh,
make
that's
that
gonna
one
be
look
a
like a good
slug
game.
fest. Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Christine says, I don't get how roughing a passer could literally be knocking a quarterback to the ground on purpose long after the play, but then go to someone like that last night who got hit and the fumble and we need a clear line. Yeah, we do. It's getting out of hand. Getting out of hand.
Gosh,
Oh.
if Tom Brady took some of the hits that Joe Burrow took, they would be like executing guys on the field
Would
for
actually
hitting him
happen.
that hard.
Yeah.
And Joe doesn't even get any calls for him. So
But you know the system's wrong when, remember last season when Joe got hit and he said next, or sometime, like eventually I'll get those calls, you know? Remember that comment he made?
Was that
like,
his-
one of
I
these
think that was
days
his
I'll get
rookie
those
year.
calls? It
Yeah.
might have been. But that's messed up. If you really think about it,
Yeah.
that's messed up. Because
And
that
they
just
know.
tells you that it's very obvious and everybody knows it, that there's certain people that get certain calls that other people don't get. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, and honestly, I know I've said this before, but when we used to go to the Chalk Talk things, they would talk about how that they prepare for the game that week before. They would basically take us through their week schedule, and they basically did it with us. Like they would say, like, this is how we would show, this is the personnel, and then they would show, these are the referees this week. And they game plan, both teams, both sides of the ball, game plan for what referees are there that day. And they look these guys up. They look at the calls that these guys give. They look at the calls that these guys miss. And they know what they can get away with. And they know that what they maybe can't get away with. And it's just amazing to me that, like Christine said, some people can get away with hitting a guy way after the play is over. And some people, like yesterday, it's like, what was he supposed to do? Levitate? I don't know. It's just, it's crazy to me.
I saw one theory was the fact that Tom Brady's 45, which is why they called it. That doesn't matter. He chose
Whose
to keep
fault
playing.
is that? That's Tom
Yeah.
Brady's fault.
Yeah. Like, sorry, it's my
Maybe if
break
you were
ahead,
45,
but
you
don't
wouldn't be
play.
getting divorced.
Jack.
I mean, it's just playing football. That's what I mean.
I knew what you meant, but oh no. Oh no.
I meant it's because he played football too long. That's what I meant, not because he's 45. Anyway, Craig says, how long should Devontae Adams be suspended? Did you guys see that?
Yeah.
That was crazy.
I haven't seen it
Like,
yet. I heard
I've
about
seen a
it.
couple angles of it, and like one angle looks like he saw the guy coming. The other angle like looks like he had no idea he had just ran into somebody and was just like reacting. So
I mean, he
don't know.
apologized for
bad.
it, so he probably knew. Like,
He was big mad at the end of that game.
yeah.
Oh yeah, I
was.
mean,
He
all
was
of us
big
would have been
mad.
super frustrated.
Yeah.
I just feel bad. That guy's just trying to do his job.
Right. Exactly. Yeah, I don't know. We'll
Yeah.
see. We'll see what comes of that, Greg. I have no idea. That's crazy. Oh, Chase went there. Tom Brady's Super Bowl ring greater than Tom Brady's wedding ring. At least he gets to keep one of those.
Guys.
The proper response is to grab the guy, keep him from falling, and say, "Oh." Okay, that's what we.
Very
Is that
Midwest.
is that to avoid the roughing the passer call? Is that what you mean by that?
Oh.
Oh, that's what Devontae Adams should have done.
Oh.
He should have grabbed him and said, "Oh." I don't think he's from the Midwest. Eric says he didn't just bump into him; he shoved him. Yes, no. What I saw looked hateful, and I get that he was mad. I do, but what I saw looked hateful.
I'm gonna have to look up that video. I saw the apology tweet he made today, but I didn't.
He was
see the
literally like,
actual shove.
like
Yeah.
angry,
And maybe
I
there's
was
another
like-
angle, but the one that I saw was shocking and like,
shocking,
yeah.
not okay, not okay. Oh my gosh, I've been talking about the refs for way too long. Whitney, let's do some game balls here.
Hot!
Oh,
Hot! Height!
What you got for us?
All right. So keeping it really simple this week, guys. First game ball goes to the guy who we mentioned earlier. He must get paid. He's a must keep. And he played clutch this week, and we're going to need him back again in New Orleans, and that is Von Bell. You freaking get 3 game balls. All the game balls. He's amazing. We're super lucky to have him. And then I'm going to give a game ball to a play, and that play is the Hayden Hurst touchdown. Like, Hayden Hurst's arms should get a game ball, but that Hayden Hurst touchdown by itself gets a game ball. That's it.
100%. Absolutely. Meg says, for those who don't hate oh, sorry. I keep going in the wrong order. Meg says, I think Adams will be suspended. Sucks for those who have him on fantasy because he's on bye this week. And if he does get suspended, he would not be on the rosters for 2 weeks or so. I didn't even think about that. So, for those who don't hate fantasy. I'm playing my sleeper league. Since James says, I'm still stuck on how a guy can have the ball in his hands and get called for roughing the passer. Yeah. It's crazy. Crazy. Thirst said, cannot read. Greg said, Thirst Space Jam TD. Oh my God, Greg, that's such a great comparison.
That's awesome.
My brain went exactly to Michael Jordan. Did you guys see the new Space Jam? I did not.
I didn't see either.
I actually did.
Was it good?
Is it good?
No.
Oh,
But it
that's
was
a
a kids
bummer.
movie. The kids that I was watching it with, the neighbor kids, they thought it was cute. So
Okay.
it's not for us.
But that was like legit, like one of my favorite movies was Space Jam when I was a kid. I mean, that was just awesome. Stranger4420 says, love Hayden Hawkhurst. Okay. I like that nickname. All right.
Man, Space Jam TD.
That's the best. That's the best, Greg. I can't believe I haven't heard that until now. Probably because I've not been on
Genius.
social media.
Genius.
Genius. I love it. Okay. Well, looking ahead to New Orleans, Miss Jerry, do you have a prediction for us today?
I do.
I don't know where it is.
So I'm putting this back on because it seemed to work the last time. And it just completely, like, my body revolts as I say these things. But again, I feel like this baby is messing up my ESP of predicting things. So I'm just going to predict the exact opposite. So we're going to lose by 1,000 points on Sunday.
A million.
1 trillion points. And it's just going to be awful. And everybody's going to have a terrible time. So.
Yes, I'm going to have a terrible time in New Orleans. That definitely sounds right.
I'd be onto something because that part's definitely not coming true.
Nope.
So I like the strategy.
Absolutely not. Absolutely.
Desperate times.
And then I know it's only Tuesday, but let's do a quick injury report.
Yeah, so there's not been a lot of news, but the
Right.
names to keep an eye on are obviously Jonah, who got banged up this past week for us, and then T, obviously. So we'll need to see how they practice this week. And then rumor is Michael Thomas is coming back for the Saints. So that's big.
Yeah.
That's like all we know right now. But
Yep, again, it's very early, but get some good things to keep an eye on. Meg says Triple H. Yes, that's the Hayden Hawkhurst nickname. Triple H. I love that. And then Meg says 80-yarder and 2 touchdowns from Triple H on Sunday. Yeah, that'd be awesome. So,
I like it.
thank you. Okay, well, let's see what else we got here. Brian says, hopefully T gets back healthy. Give him the week off so he'll be good to go for Sunday. Yes, that would be great. We definitely have talked about how much we miss T out there. Optic says, can't stay, but wanted to say, hey, ladies, I'll try and catch the replay later tonight/tomorrow. Thank you, Optic. Thanks for popping in. We appreciate you, and we appreciate you watching after the fact. It all counts, so we appreciate it all. But, all right, anything else, guys? I think that's about it.
Yeah, that is about it, I think.
Yep.
Go.
Is that a new shirt, Whitney?
Joe. No, I've had it for a while, but I'm trying to manifest all the good luck I can.
I love it.
I have a new bracelet, though. Can you see it?
Mm-hmm.
It says, Go Cincy.
Oh, that's
Oh,
super
that's really
cute.
cute.
Off Etsy. I should probably share the link. I love it. I'm obsessed with it. So it's my good luck charm. I'm convinced.
Brian says, my 5-year-old said the red one's hair is beautiful. Aw, we agree, Kayla.
Your hair does
Thanks for
look
watching,
fabulous.
Brian.
Thank you.
Yeah, it does.
Cincy James says, CTB and Shelvin playing Sunday? I don't know. I saw that they activated Shelvin, so we will see. But,
I feel like it's going to be another long week.
yeah. Go ahead, Whitney.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Just really quick, I forgot to mention Dax Hill sighting.
I was just about to say the
On
exact same thing.
Sunday.
Once I saw CTV, I was
Yeah.
like, I even had that written down, and I just glazed over it. But yeah, that was another really exciting part about the defense on Sunday was seeing Dax out there, and it was a good play too. It was a big play on 4th down or 3rd down, and it was great. Meg says, I saw that Penny smoked the Saints defense. Does that mean we will finally have a breakout game from Mixon? Oh, that would be fantastic, Meg. I hope so.
Everything to manifest.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, we will see. We shall see.
Dax. Yeah, he looked good. That was a bright spot for us, guys. Like, that'll continue to grow. So that's exciting.
Absolutely. And I don't know if you guys saw on the game on Sunday, they kind of showed where there was a time where Joe Mixon kind of like snuck up and then kind of bounced around. And that was a really, really awesome play. And I was recently talking with Kyle Caskey, who used to coach him, and he said that that's something that he's really good at. And so I think that we're going to see more stuff like that from him and things like that. So
Awesome.
I cannot understate how excited I am to see this run game get going. So, yep.
Same.
So, yeah, and as Cap said, Jess and Kayla learned why tonight. Yeah, he didn't really want to make that like super publicly known that he was doing that for Who Dey Ladies, but he just had a thing for Who Dey Ladies tonight, and I'm hoping that we'll see more stuff from him. He is being very generous with his time and with Kayla, his wife as well. So, you know, we're very excited about what's coming down the pike for the Caskies because they are great. But
Yeah.
Haas says, Mixon for a 100-yard game. LFG, Who Dey. Who Dey, Haas. I hope he has a 200-yard game. I hope he gets all the yards. But all right.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's all I got. Thanks, everybody, for being here. Don't forget to subscribe. We have this beautiful Von Bell signed jersey. And the better he plays, the more enticing this prize becomes. So I really appreciate him for that as well. What? Oh, and he's got the captain patch on the front. So
That's awesome.
it's a super awesome jersey. He was so kind to sign it for me, and so it could be yours. If we get 1,000 subscribers, we're gonna pick one, and somebody's gonna win that jersey. So make sure you are subscribing. We appreciate everybody who comments and watches. So thanks for that as well. And on to New Orleans. Who Dey, everybody.
Who
Good
Dey?
day.
Who Dey.
Hey. Cincy says, I look forward to winning that jersey. I hope you do, Cincy James. I hope you do. Who Dey, everybody.